Last weekend on eBay from Friday until Monday morning, I had only sold 5 items for less than $200 in gross sales, and I knew something had to change. Once I got all 5 of those items shipped out on Monday morning, I began the process of doing these 4 things in my business, which allowed me to generate just over $500 in gross sales within 24 hours. And in today's video, I'm sharing with you guys what those 4 things are and how you can apply them to your business. What's going on, you guys? My name is Josh, also known as Harry Tornado. I'm a full-time eBay reseller slash YouTuber. All the videos here on my channel are about selling on eBay and how do you better your business, or at least what I'm doing to better my business. So if you guys are interested in videos like that and you haven't already, go ahead and click subscribe. Now, usually when I wake up on Monday morning and I have a full weekend of sales to get pulled, packed, and shipped out, I'm sending out between 15 and 20 items on average, but this past weekend was not like that at all. To be completely honest with you guys, I had not done anything on eBay other than ship out orders in probably a week preceding this past weekend. So I don't know why I expected to have a lot of sales, because eBay is a simple formula. If you do the work, the sales will come generally. So going into this past weekend, I had not done any work on eBay, and that's why I only had 5 items to ship out on Monday morning. Once I got those 5 items shipped out on Monday, I knew I had to kick it in high gear to start this new week off on the right foot. The very first thing I did was go onto the eBay app on my phone, and I sent offers to everybody I could. I believe I had about 60 items on the app that were eligible for me to send offers to watchers, so I did that on all 60 of them. Once these offers are sent, there's not much else you can do. It's almost like fishing. You just threw 60 rods out into the lake and you're just waiting for these fish to bite. So while I waited, I moved on to step 2, which is sourcing. Now here's where it gets a little interesting, because generally if you want to increase your sales, you need to list the items you already have. I personally have a death pile. I'm sure a lot of you watching this video have some sort of death pile that you need to list your way through. However, I specifically put sourcing in front of listing on this list for the reason of motivation. Looking back at this past Monday morning, I wasn't super motivated. I'd only sold 5 items over the weekend. I sent those out and that kind of put a damper on my mood. I sent offers to watchers and nobody had accepted anything yet, so I just wasn't motivated. I knew I couldn't just go to my death pile and start listing, because I would list maybe 1 item and then just give up because I wasn't in the mood to list. Most resellers love the thrill of the hunt, going to a thrift store or a yard sale and finding valuable items to flip that you can make a profit on. That is where we get most of our motivation. And lately, since a lot of us have been in states with lockdowns, we haven't been able to kind of get that high, of finding the treasures. We've just been stuck inside with our death piles all the time, which I think is why most of us are kind of lacking in motivation lately. So luckily for me, my thrift stores are open. So I thought that if I could go to some thrift stores, find some cool stuff to flip, stuff that was new and stuff that I was excited about listing, that would give me a boost of motivation to get through the listing for the day. I would bring the stuff home, maybe list 1 new thing, then 1 thing for my death pile, and then 1 more new thing, and then 1 more thing for my death pile. And when you kind of layer it in like that, it makes it feel less like a chore. I think most of us are most excited to list an item right when we get it, right when you buy it from the store and get it home. That is your peak motivation to get that item listed. The longer it sits in your death pile, the less and less motivated you'll be to actually list it. So I went sourcing. I went to a Salvation Army and a Goodwill. I ended up buying about 7 items that I felt like would be pretty good flips for me. And then while I was sourcing, 4 of the items that I had sent out offers on before I left the house that day ended up selling to those watchers. So when I got back home from sourcing that day, I was super excited, super motivated, because not only had I found cool things at the thrift store to flip on eBay, but I had also made some sales from those offers to watchers earlier that day. So I went out to the garage and started listing, and between the new items and some items from my death pile, I think I listed about 13 items in one stretch of time, which is really, really good for me personally. While I was listing those 13 items, I had 3 more sales that were from offers to watchers earlier that day. So Monday was looking to be an extremely productive day for me. I woke up, shipped out the 5 items that sold, sent out 60 offers to watchers, went sourcing at 2 thrift stores, listed 13 items, and sold 7 items. So we'll do a quick recap here, because because I feel like I might be babbling a little bit. I don't know. I'm just excited. So number one in our list of things to do to boost your sales when you've had a slow weekend is send offers. I did that. That's number one. Number two was sourcing. Again, we do this before we list to help with our motivation to list. Number three is list. Not only the stuff you just got at the thrift store, but also some of your old death pile stuff, kind of going back and forth between new and old items. I think that's a really, really great way to make it through that pile. And number four, finally, is double check. Now, what I mean by this is that I went through my eBay listed inventory, not on the computer or on my phone, but physically in the garage. I went and looked through all of my listed inventory, and I was double checking that there weren't any items that had been accidentally removed from eBay. Stuff that, you know, had been listed for 6 or 8 or 10 months, but I had never sent out an offers to watchers on. I had never gotten an offer on. I've never seen in my, just scrolling through my active eBay listings, because occasionally eBay does remove some of your items. I don't know why. I don't know the reasons, but occasionally it does, because it's happened to me all the time. The way I do this is that I would just look through my physical inventory, and when I see something that I think may have been deleted from eBay, I would just go to my eBay app on my phone and look through my active listings and type in a keyword for that item. Like if it was a pair of Nike shoes that I thought may have been listed, I would just go to my active listings, type in Nike, and see the search results. And if it popped up in those search results, I would know it was still listed, and I'd probably just need to, maybe delete it and relist it or something to freshen up the listing. But if it was not listed at all and I still had it in my inventory, obviously that means that eBay at some point has removed the listing from my store, which means now I need to go retake pictures and relist that item as if it was something sitting in my death pile, which is extremely frustrating, but also a great way to boost sales. Most says, hey, I love you so much. Tell them, say, smash the like button, smash subscribe, hey. Now when it comes to double checking, you can really spend as little or as much time on this as you would like. I personally just went through all of my golf clubs that I had listed. I think I had about 18 to 20 clubs that were supposed to be listed in my store. So I was just going through making sure all of those were still active. And I also went through a couple pairs of shoes that I hadn't seen in a while. And I ended up finding 2 golf clubs that were supposed to be listed that weren't, and 1 pair of shoes that was supposed to be listed and it wasn't. So I redid the photos on the 2 golf clubs and the pair of shoes, got all 3 of those things listed, and all 3 items sold within 24 hours. Which is just crazy, because those things should have been listed months ago. I remember picking up those shoes over 6 months ago. Both of those golf clubs were listed over 6 months ago. Again, I don't know why eBay takes this stuff out of our store, but going through your listed inventory, double checking that it's actually still listed is super, super important. Let's do one more recap just to finally reiterate everything I've talked about. The first thing to do when you have slow sales and you want to increase your sales is send offers to watchers. You can do this on your phone or the computer. It doesn't matter, whichever you prefer, but it's important to do this, in my opinion, at least once a week. Number 2, if you're in an area with opened thrift stores or garage sales and you feel like you can do so safely, get out and source. It will help you just be in a better mood, and it will help you get motivation to do step 3, which is list. Again, when it comes to listing, you don't just want to list all of your new exciting inventory first. You kind of want to layer in some stuff from your death pile to help you get through that faster. And finally, number 4 is double check your listed eBay inventory. Go through your inventory piles and look for things that you're surprised haven't sold yet. Like if you've got a really nice pair of boots that are at a competitive price point and a really good condition, a really good size, and they've been listed for 10 months and they haven't sold yet, I bet you they're not even listed on eBay. Go through, double check. There you go, guys. That is the 4 things I did after a slow sales weekend to generate just over $500 in sales in a 24-hour period. I'll put up this sales chart right here. This is my weekend sales chart, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, compared to my sales chart for Monday and Tuesday. You can see the huge difference here. Again, guys, this is not rocket science. I'm sure I'm not telling you anything you haven't heard somewhere before, but these videos are just to serve as a reminder of these simple ways to boost your business. eBay is a simple business, but it's not an easy business. You get out of eBay what you put in. If you have a week where you don't list anything, you don't touch your eBay app, and then you're surprised that you have a crap weekend of sales, you should probably find a different line of business to be in, because that is what is going to happen. If you guys liked today's video, if you learned anything, if you feel super motivated to get out and make some money, smash the like button. I'd really appreciate it. It helps me and the channel out a ton. And if you haven't yet yet, consider subscribing to this channel for more content just like this. Thank you guys so much for watching. You're the best, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.